Welcome back, baseball fans, as we continue our Legends in the Making playthrough in Out of the Park Baseball 2026. We are seeing how baseball history is going to be rewritten from 1921 up to 2025. So far, we've seen the offense drop off quite a bit. Babe Ruth did not do his Babe Ruthian efforts as far as home runs go. Gehrig has not hit his home run mark either. RBIs, though, have been there, so it's going to be interesting. We have mixed in Negro League players, but the other thing to keep in mind, we have different pitchers going up against these hitters as well. We've got different hitters going up against the pitchers and so on, so maybe that's part of it. And Ruth is now playing in a different ballpark more. He's not playing in Yankee Stadium. Could have an influence as well on Lou Gehrig and some of these others. So it'll be interesting to see, will things change? Will they stay the same? We're about to kick off the 38 and 39 seasons. We have the draft on the way here first, with Lou Boudreau being the top prospect. We are drafting way back here as usual because that's just kind of how things go. You will see the top players here that are projected to go are going to be Lou Boudreau, Sid Gordon. These are two big-time players. Tommy Butts, that's just a fantastic name. Preacher Rowe, he had that name, he must have been in, Brooklyn. That's where it is. That's how I know him. 22-3 one year. Sam Jethro, Pee Wee Reese, another Brooklyn legend. Early Wynn. Oh, he did not sign with the Pirates and went to Florida State instead. So he's back out there. He's a potential one. That Sal Magley. So there's depth to this this draft class. That's nice to see. The mock draft has us taking Early Win, which we would gladly take him. So it's going to be interesting to see how this starts. So we'll start the draft, and we'll see who starts going. So we have the Cubs up first. They will be taking Sid Gordon. Oh, they passed on Lou Boudreau. Interesting. So the projected number 1 did not go. And then we've got the St. Louis Browns. Ooh, they have a new logo this season. They'll be taking Lou Boudreau. The Brooklyn Dodgers will be taking Raffensperger. Then we have Buster Bus Clarkson going to the White Sox. The Boston Bees will take Vern Jr. Stevens. Oh, Early Win went to the Dodgers. They got another pick. Man. The 8th pick, Fred Hutchinson to the Tigers. The Senators take Virgil Trucks. The Phillies, Aaron Robinson. Tommy Pee Wee Butts. Tommy Butts goes to the Red Sox. Zeke Zarilla to the Pirates. And again, the Pirates get Jim Russell. They get 2 in a row. The Yankees, Ted Cork Wilkes. The A's get Sam Jethro and Mickey Harris. So as far as who we are recommended to get would be Russ Christopher, but I'm not sold on him. I see Preacher Rowe out there and Pee Wee Reese. Both of these guys, I mean, Reese is more of a defensive guy. We are going to need Sal Magley is another one, though. Had a decent career. I'm going to go with Preacher Rowe. He's the name I know the best. He's a starting pitcher that we can use. So we're going to draft him. And then we will finish up this draft and pick back up as we get to the beginning of the 1938 season. And we are ready for opening day 1938, going up against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Our lineup consists of, this is going to be for both right and left, Papa Bell, hopefully have another solid season. He bounced back tremendously in 1937. Mike Krivich, again, we want him to follow up his solid year, 113 RBI last year. Lou Gehrig, we're going to ride the iron horse while we can. Hank Greenberg's going to be third again because there's no spot open for him for Gehrig, so we'll take the defensive hit and hope that he crushes it again. Martin DeHigo will be in right field and pitching for us. Again, he's just amazing. Lonnie Frey's going to be our shortstop. Newt Allen, our second baseman. Clarence Palm at catcher. Now, we also have brought up Harry Kraft and George Case. We did release George Washington. We had to release Wilfred Reedus and Oscar Charleston. He was 41 and didn't seem like he had anything left in the tank. His greatly diminished. And I wanted to make room for Kraft and Case. They're going to be much more potent up there. Our rotation consists of Hubble, Lefty Grove, Martin Dihigo again, and Luis Tiant. We're going to start with him in the rotation in the fourth because Satchel Paige, for some reason, is just not expected to do much this season. He might surprise us, but he's also going to be around probably for another 10, 15 years. Now, to go back to the draft, we had some steals in the draft. It's amazing that we were able to get this figured out. So we had Preacher Rowe in the first round, but we got some steals in the second and third, or actually third and fourth round. Notice here, Monte Irvin, we were able to pick him up in the fourth round. We took him. He was sitting there listed as a pitcher. Now, this is a guy who starts in the Negro Leagues, comes over to the New York Giants, wins an RBI title with 121 RBI. He's finished third in the MVP voting. He can play multiple positions. He played, I think, first, short, outfield. We lucked into him. And another one who was listed as a pitcher, Stan Musial, we got in round 3. Don't know what it's amazing. We've got Musial and Monte Irvin and Hank Greenberg, and we got Preacher Rowe out of that as well. So we have Rowe and we have Irvin and we have Musial. So this is looking like we have figured out our future. That was the draft we needed, that's for sure. And we're going to see how things kick off then and how we can do in this 1938 season. So with that being said, we're going to jump to the All-Star break. All right, here we are at the All-Star break. We are in a tight race. We're doing great, but the Giants, we've closed the gap. We were up a little bit, but now we're back down by a half game. The Giants are having a great season behind their pitching and defense because they don't do anything amazing as far as they're not scoring many runs, but they're not doing great on runs against. So they're just eking by. Josh Gibson is their force. You got McCormick, but no big names outside of them. But they do have Dizzy Dean. Barney Brown's having a great season. So we're seeing how we do. We're seeing if we can hang in there. We're having a good season as well. So we're going to check in on the leaders first off. The Red Sox are running away, it looks like, in the American League. The A's are the only one within double digits of them. While in the National League, there are still 6 teams who could potentially make a run, and the Bees and the Cubs are just being the whipping boys. Look at the Browns, though, starting to at least get out of the cellar, which they should, considering they've been drafting at the top for a while. So Dandridge is leading with the 373 or batting average. Al Simmons has 20 home runs separating from the crowd and 72 RBI. He's batting only 286, though, so no Triple Crown run for him. Augie Galen, 10 stolen bases. Joe Gordon is up there with 9. And Jeff Heath is leading in slugging and WAR. So this guy, 23-year-old, I do not know this one. He was a Cleveland player, 1,400 hits, 293 average. So big during early 1940s. So during World War II era. In the ERA, in the pitching categories, Milt Schaffner is dominating with a 1.47 ERA. Derringer's second, and he's first in wins. Bob Whelan, Lefty Gomez is popping back up again. In strikeouts, Johnny Murphy in saves with Rube Wahlberg as well, with Hilton Smith leading the WAR. In the NL, we have Willard Brown with a 371. Gehrig is up there with 364. He was topping 400 for a while there. This could be his last season for us, actually, one of them, because 1938 was a struggle. He's outperforming that by far, but then 39, unfortunately, he had to leave due to his disease that now bears his name, ALS, or Lou Gehrig's disease. So we'll see if he can give us something here and maybe even beyond. But we have Greenberg. He's hitting 16 home runs. His average is taking a hit, but he's still driving in runs. Martin Dihigo is not only pitching well, he is also hitting well. And so he's up 14 home runs, already matched his total from the last season, hitting 332. So that's good to see. And stolen bases, we have 2 in the top 3. Krivich is tied for first, and then Cool Papa Bell is right behind. Jimmy Fox is having another fantastic season, it looks like. Mel Ott, who else? He's just Mr. Consistency over there for Brooklyn. Carl Hubble is leading in wins and in strikeouts, but not in ERA. Bill McGee's taking that crown with 193. Wow. Hubble was at 374, so nowhere near that. And pitcher war, we have Barney Brown, then Lefty Grove and Hubble are there. Now, when we look at the All-Star teams, the roster in the AL, we have Brown, Derringer, Gomez, Hollingsworth, Schaffner and Hoyt, Pinnock, Bill Dickey, Johnny Mize. He's making several now. What is this? Just his second one, but he'll be there for a while. Joe Gordon picking up his first All-Star game. New Joseph, Joe Cronin, Dandridge, Willie Wells, Jeff Heath. Joe DiMaggio is now in his second All-Star, 2 in a row. He's already won a Gold Glove. He won an MVP last season. He's doing it again. So Cleveland won the World Series last year. So in the NL, we have Barney Brown, Dizzy Dean, Martin DeHigo, and Lefty Grove representing us. Denny Galehouse making it as a reliever with not a stellar ERA or anything. Josh Gibson, of course, picking up yet another All-Star. He's on his way to a Hall of Fame career, no doubt, if he keeps this up. He has 200 home runs already. So we'll see. I hope he can. Jimmy Fox is there. Lou Gehrig, again, getting yet another one. Hall of Famer for sure. He is a 6-time All-Star selection. He's been there every year. 11-time best hitter, 1-time Gold Glove, 6-time MVP. That's insane. Mr. Gehrig, tip of the cap. Gehringer's back there again. Hank Greenberg picking up his third in a row, or not in a row, second in a row. So he's picking it up at third base, even though his defense is struggling. And then we got Selkirk Mel Ott again, picking up another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for him. Look at all these Gold Gloves. That's just crazy. 10 times. Now he's a 6-time. He's 1-time MVP. So he's also mounting a Hall of Fame career. He's only up to 254 home runs at the moment. Crossed the 1,000 RBI and runs. He's about to cross 2,000 hits probably next season when he turns 30. So that's where we stand. We're going to hope we make a good run in the second half of the season. We're doing great offensively, but our runs against and defense are not the best. And part of that is because we do have Greenberg, but Gehrig's starting to slip as well. So we'll see what we can do. And hopefully we will come back with us in the World Series. Well, we came up short. We did fall as far back as 5 games. Then we came back to be within a half game. But it wasn't meant to be. The Red Sox did clearly go away with it. We finished in 4th, so we will finishing behind 4 teams here. So we're going to get a decent draft pick. So if we're going to miss, we might as well miss by a decent amount. Losing 5 straight to end, that hurts considering we were 5 games behind and we could have been tied. But the Cubs were one of the teams that were beating us. So unfortunately, it didn't work out. Now we wrap up the regular season with Quincy Troop coming up to take the batting title. Joe Gordon tying with Al Simmons, with Jeff Heath 1 behind for the home runs. Simmons getting the RBI crown. Red Rolfe with 21 stolen bases. Joe Gordon had a heck of a season. Jeff Heath with OPS. DiMaggio with WAR. He had another fantastic year. A little below his MVP standard. In the ERA race, Hollingsworth, 239. Derringer with 21 runs. Whalen with 170 strikeouts. Lefty Gomez once again being up there. Johnny Murphy taking the saves title, and Hilton Smith with the WAR. Now, in batting average in the NL, Willer Brown with 352, but Gehrig did finish 3rd at 325. So he did have a decline throughout the second half, and that's one thing that hurt the team. Still finished with 24 home runs and 114 RBI. Greenberg with 39 home runs. I thought he was going to lead the league, but Bob Seeds comes out of nowhere. 1 home run last year, 8 the year before to get 42. And in 1938 in real life, he had 9. So I don't know what happened, but somehow he hammered 42 home runs. Greenberg was second in RBI as well. Harlan Kraft getting first with 140. Krivich and Cool Papa Bell finishing first and second in the stolen base race. So Cool Papa Bell hitting 306 did have another solid season. Jimmy Fox got the OPS. WAR went to Mel Ott. In the ERA crown went to Charlie Root, the man we traded away. He has had another good season. We did it to get um, Hank Greenberg, and I think it's going to pay off. I mean, we have won with Greenberg, so it's not like we're doing horrible, but Root is taking the Reds and doing well with them too. But Hubble gets the win. Again, we're pitching in a 4-man rotation. A lot of the others are doing 5. Tiant having a good, solid season. Strikeouts went to Hubble, then Lefty Grove. Saves to Eddie Dixon. Carl Hubble does get the WAR crown, and Lefty Grove right behind him. So the playoffs between the Red Sox and the Giants, we'll see 6 championships to 2. Both have made it 7 times. The last championship was in 1935 for the Red Sox, the year before for the Giants. So it's going to be interesting to see who's going to end up winning this crown. We know Josh Gibson's playing for the Giants, and we have Hilton Smith starting off for Boston. So Derringer, Spud Chandler, we have Dizzy Dean for the Giants. So it's going to be an interesting finish. We did get a notice that Oscar Charleston did hang up his boots. He did sign for a Negro League team after we dropped him, and that saw him knock in, believe 18 home runs. And speaking of home runs, Josh Gibson gets 1. But the Red Sox are going to win game 1. Game 2 also goes to the Red Sox. And Dizzy Dean's taking the mound in game 3. He does spin a gem to claw one back for the Giants. Game 4 has Spud Chandler versus Larry French going head-to-head. It is going to go to the Red Sox, going up 3-1. Will they pick up another championship? The Giants are going to win game 5. It's 3-2. Wheelan versus Claude Passau. Both had solid outings in their first game. It's in New York, and New York is going to win 4-1. Gibson with his 4th home run of the series. He is the MVP in the making right there for this. And now we see Derringer and Dean. My money's on Dean. Dizzy Dean, he's ready to go. He's got it in the tank. I mean, Derringer's had a good year, but I think this is Dean and Gibson for the win. 2-1. Culp came in. Derringer gets defeated. No home runs, but Josh Gibson does pick the MVP award up, and the Giants get themselves another world title. So let's jump to, let's see the draft pool announcement before we go. Looking at the draft class, Hal Newshauser is the number 1 prospect. Tommy Butts did not sign last time. No one else really stands out. The initial mock draft has us taking Joe Collins, but this order will be wrong. If we look at the draft pool, this is how I picked up Musial, as I checked out potential. Any pitchers that have an insane amount of potential? No. So it looks like we're going to be drafting in a early in a season that's not going to really have a lot of big name players. Hal Newhouser does have a great career for, I believe, Detroit. Yes. Now, some of it knocks him because his dominance did come again in World War II, where you have a lower level of player, but solid career nonetheless, and he could be of value to us. So we'll see how the offseason shapes up. It is time for both the draft and to look at the awards for the end of the season. So when we look at the AL Gold Gloves, we have Lefty Gomez picking up Mickey Cochran, showing up again for his 4th one, and he's just having a fantastic career. He's got to be a Hall of Famer. Has to be. 2,000 hits at catcher, 1,100 RBI. How does that stack up to him in real life? 1,600 hits, 119, 832 RBI, and 1,000 runs. So he's someone who has by far outperformed. By far. So he quit at 33. So he's got already 35. He's already got a few extra seasons. He started in 1925 for both. So he's just had a much better career. There's one that's actually done better. Joe Kroner, Luke Appling again showing up. Joe DiMaggio again. In the NL, Dihigo picking up 1 for pitcher. Rosar, Keltner, Scales, Lewis, Lundy. Lots of new names. Mel Ott is not a new name, though. He continues to dominate at center field. AL, the reliever goes to Jumbo Brown, unanimous. In the NL, goes to Ray Culp, again, unanimous. Earnshaw was offered up to me for trades quite a bit in the offseason before the last season started. Now, Platinum Stick Award winners in the AL, Appleton, Troop, Bonura, Joe Gordon, Stan Hack, Joe Cronin, the guy that we traded away, Jeff Heath, Joe DiMaggio gets another one, and Johnny Mize yet again. In the NL, Dihigo getting another. Look at all these awards. He's got to have a Hall of Fame career. I mean, I don't know how you don't whenever you have 164 wins. Kind of a high ERA comparatively. 1,000 strikeouts. His ERA plus is slightly above average at the time. But then you also look at his batting stats where he's got 1,600 hits, 900 runs, 200 home runs, 1,000 RBI. His OPS plus is 128, so much better above average. I mean, he's got a 300 batting average. He's ridiculous. He's been worth the trade. Anyways, we have Rudy York getting a catcher. Jimmy Fox again. Garinger again. Johnny Rizzo, Willer Brown, Ivan Goodman. Some new people in the outfield, it looks like. Joe Gordon picking up the Rookie of the Year honors for Cleveland. In the NL, it was Johnny Rizzo, unanimous for the Reds. When we look at the Cy Young Award, it goes to Al Hollingsworth, squeaking it out over Paul Derringer in the AL. In the NL, it was Carl Hubble, the only one not voted for. It was for Edsel Walker. So Hubble picks up his, oh goodness, let's just go quick. So he's 6 times, and he's won 2 MVPs. Wow, that's a Hall of Famer in the making. Once he gets his 10th season. Well, he just played his 10th season, so look at this. Leading in wins, leading in ERA. He's got lots of black ink in there. As gray as well as the gray ink. First ballot Hall of Famer, no doubt. In the AL, we had Jeff Heath beating out Joe DiMaggio for MVP. And in the NL, Willer Brown beating out Mel Ott for MVP. So that takes us to the draft where we are going to be drafting 10th. This is the highest we've ever been. And if we look at the draft pool and the mock draft, we are expected to take Allie Reynolds, who did have a decent career for the Indians and the Yankees, but we'll see. Maybe someone falls. Probably not. But we're going to begin the draft. And Washington is going to take off the board first. Hal Newhouser, no surprise there. And if we go to our pitch potential, Chicago's going to take Ron Northey. Then we have Howie Pollitt for the Bees. Allie Super Chief Reynolds for the Browns. The White Sox take Fred Hutchinson. The Dodgers, Tommy Pee Wee Butts again. The Yankees get Eric Tipton, Hank Borey to the Tigers. The Phillies take Elmer Vallow. So we are asked to take Bob Duke Dillinger. We could use some middle infield help. He is a speedster as well. When you look, he didn't have a long career, and it wasn't until post-World War II. So we won't have him for long, most likely. We do need some catcher help, but there doesn't seem to be anybody out there that will be worth our while. Of course, there are first basemen out here who look amazing. I think it's going to be Dillinger. So we're going to finish up the draft and see where we are at the beginning of the next season to start 1939. And here we are, 1939 opening day, opening up against the Pirates yet again. We have Cool Papa Bell, Lonnie Frey, Ernie Lombardi, who we traded for. We'll come back to that in a little bit. Hank Greenberg, Martin Dihigo, Mike Krivich, Steve Messner, Newt Allen. He's there for defense. Then we have Hubble, Lefty Grove, Dihigo, and Luis Tiant yet again because Page is still kind of maybe not going to be ready. Schoolboy Rose, another one we trade for. Denny Galehouse is potentially going to move in there for Tiant. We'll see as the season goes. So like I said, we did trade. We gave traded George Case away because we have Musial and Monty Irvin coming through to get a better hitting catcher in Ernie Lombardi. He's had 3 fantastic seasons. We're hoping that continues. We also traded away then our former catcher, Al Lopez, to get Schoolboy Rowe to give us some pitching help maybe over the next few seasons. Hall of Fame voting, Harry Heilman got the closest. Smokey Joe Williams, our guy, did a little bit better than he did last year, but still falls short. Zach Wheat is not going to make it. It looks like he's struggling in his 7th year. I believe he's a Hall of Famer in real life. Bobby Veach, Ed Roush, Epibrixie, he was for our team for a little bit. Doesn't look like he'll make it. So Cy Williams doesn't look, that's a name I know. Rabbit Marinville's another name I know, but he didn't make it. So that's where we're at there. And this is a team we're hoping can mount a challenge to get us back into the World Series, get us another pennant. We've won 6 pennants so far, 4 World Series wins. As you can see, Gehrig is our number 1 games played, but you can see the stats have drastically dropped off the ratings. He's probably done. This was the year that he retired in real life. I don't see him being able to bounce back. Hits, he is our number 1 hits leader, taking over for Oscar Charleston. Home runs, he's number 1. He did fall 80 or so home runs shy of his actual mark. Lefty Grove is really close to that 300. In reality, he had exactly 300. So we will see. Hopefully he pulls well above that number, and he is in there in strikeouts at 2,300, which if we look at his strikeouts, 2,200. So he has done better as well. His ERA is much higher, though. He has not had the same success as far as that goes. We will pick back up at the All-Star break. And at the All-Star break, we find ourselves 2 games out of first place behind those Giants again. We have closed the gap. We started rough, but we had caught fire in June. So we're going to see if we can ride that out. You'll see hitting we're doing okay. Base running we're doing okay. It looks like we're doing okay in pitching and defense this time. We're doing better overall, but we just can't quite get there. Individually, we're taking some bumps. You can see Dahigo and Lefty Grove. Hubble's having fine. And Denny Galehouse has moved up into the rotation because Tiant has... we gave him a shot. And then we also have Monty Irvin got hurt. He was having a great season so far, a solid rookie season. But look at all these 300 hitters. So this is just a year for the hitter, but not a lot of power showing up. And as we check in on the rest of the league, Joe DiMaggio is back up in first in batting average and home runs with 16. Joe Kuhl is 75. So DiMaggio only has 55 RBI. Stolen bases go to Arky Vaughn, OPS to DiMaggio and the WAR. ERA goes to Ted Lyons, then Whalen, then Radcliffe, who is ahead in wins. Vandermeer showing up in strikeouts. So Johnny Vandermeer is making a name, or kind of. Stats aren't completely there. Cascarella gets the saves lead right now, and Hilton Smith for WAR. In the NL, Don Padgett is at 457. Wow. What did he hit in reality in 1939? He hit 399, so he's doing even better. Charlie Keller there is pushing himself. Jimmy Fox has 19 home runs. Josh Gibson again, 16 home runs while hitting 355. RBI, we have Lonnie Frey kind of coming out of nowhere at second in runs batted in. Jimmy Fox is up there. Krivich has second in stolen bases, but Barney McCoskey is leading the way with blazing 29 stolen bases. Then we have Padgett and Keller. In the ERA, we have Bill Bird, but Denny Galehouse is in third. Wins goes to Hubble. Strikeouts, Bob Feller is ready to go, and he's starting to get that control a little bit better, and that will start to pay dividends for the Phillies. Clint Brown saves, and Hubble in WAR. So we're going to hope for a strong second half again. Maybe we can take the Giants down this time and get back to that World Series. Well, the season wrapped up with our worst season in a long time, just going 78 and 76, 17 games out. But it wasn't the Giants that ended up winning. Pittsburgh came up out of nowhere to get the pennant. The Red Sox passing 100 wins, dominating the AL. You have batting average title going to Joe DiMaggio. Red Wolf coming up there. Joe DiMaggio getting home runs, just missing his Triple Crown run with Bob Johnson, seeing him out. George Case who we traded away, 26 stolen bases. Archie Vaughn with 21, DiMaggio, OPS, and WAR. Now, notice Ted Williams, WAR and batter, so Washington's got a stud. He's starting to emerge. We have Joe Cool leading Boston with Luke Appling as hitting streaks. And then we have, look at the top three ERAs, all Boston. Wins going to Tommy Bridges, actually. Strikeouts going to Tommy Bridges as well, who his ERA of 3.61 was not good enough here. Cascarella getting saves. Over in the NL, Padgett got 417, so he did achieve that 400 season. McCormick not right behind, but in second. Jimmy Fox with 37 home runs, leading all of the majors. And then Keltner, though, taking RBI. This is the first time in a long time we have not had anybody in those three categories. We had two in stolen bases, but Barney McCoskey, 51. We have not seen anything like that yet. Jimmy Fox in OPS, Don Padgett for the WAR. In ERA, we had Bill Bird, then Whit Wyatt, Edsel Walker. Hubble getting second on wins, Bill Bird getting first. Hubble did miss 5 weeks late in the season. That kind of saw our record go down the tubes with it. We were right neck and neck with these three before that. Feller getting the strikeout crown, Clint Brown the saves crown, and we pick up in the middle of the playoffs where Pittsburgh is seeking their 6th championship, first since 1928 when they last won the pennant. Boston was denied last season. They're trying to get that championship that they haven't had since 1935. And right now, the Pirates have won the first 2, and they are looking to upset the Red Sox and take it. And they have won 3 straight. So will they get the sweep and upset the 100-win Red Sox to show the NL is the dominant league and not the American League? Nope. Boston wins 10-1 in that one. Now, Boston, you would think would show up, but it does show you with Pittsburgh taking it. And now this is one thing that's interesting. The dominance, since you don't have interleague play, it really is when you play in one league or the other, you don't know how they would stack up against that amazing pitching. So maybe that is something that we should have considered, and maybe I should institute for the 1940s some interleague play if that's possible, so we can really see who these best teams are, potentially. I'm thinking about possibly doing that. Let me know what you think as far as that goes. So that wraps up the 1939 season. We are going to check out the awards in the draft pool and go from there. Well, the draft is coming for the awards this season. We get to draft 10th again. If we look at the mock draft, it has us taking Larry Jansen. Now, when we look at the draft on this one, I don't really see a lot of players I recognize. Andy Pafko. We have Carl Furio. I do recognize that name. Who are we? Yeah, Brooklyn. Boys of Summer, I believe. So he could be a solid player. No. Oh, Warren Spahn. There's the guy. Let's shortlist him. He won't be around for us. Oh, if only he were. Then our pitching problems would be solved. But he will not come to us. I have no doubt about that. All right, so we're going to see who the Cubs take to start off. Andy Pafko, Handy Andy. Warren Spahn for the Yankees. That's a shame. Connie Johnson for the Tigers. Phillies take Larry Jansen. George Kell goes to the A's. The Senators take Gene Woodling. Snuffy Sternweiss, what a name, goes to the Dodgers. White Sox take Joe Fireman Page. Willard Marshall for the Boston Bees. Carl Furio is out there. So is Johnny Pesky. We could get a pole named after him. Pesky's pole. We have Phil Rizzuto. I don't know that shortstop is the way to go. We don't have anybody amazing. Carl Furio, he's going to be good. What about pitchers? We can use some pitching help, but nobody out there that's going to be great. So we're going to have to take a hitter. Furio or That's the question. Do we get Furio or Pesky? Now, if we look at the prospects, we have Musial coming up. Well, he's probably listed as a pitcher again. They like to do that to him. But Stan Musial is, he's not quite there, but he's stellar. We know we have him. We have Monty Irvin. I don't know. We do have Phil Rizzuto and Eddie Stanky both coming in the middle of the lineup. As far as outfield goes, we don't really have a lot beyond Irvin and Musial. I think we will go with Furio then. We will do that. Okay, so we're going to jump ahead to the end of the draft and the end of the awards to see who wins to wrap up this episode. Well, no one of note came to us after that in the draft, so we're going to wrap up by checking out the awards for the last season. Bill Foster showing back up, getting another award. It's been a while for him, I feel like. Gene DeSalto, there's a new name. Hal Trosky, our former guy, making us regret trading him. Matt Carlisle, Travis, Crosetti, Amovich, Joe DiMaggio again. In the NL, no Mel Ott this season. Bill Lee, Franks, McCormick. We did have Lonnie Frey and Mike Krivich, but that's it. Willard Brown and Goodman there. AL reliever of the year goes to Lou Feet, who beats out Johnny Murphy. In the NL, Clint Brown unanimously. Platinum Stick Award winners, Bucky Walters, Troop, Hal Trosky, Joe Gordon, Red Rolf, Joe Cronin, Joe DiMaggio again. Ted Williams getting his first one. Watch out, Major League Baseball. In the National League, Dihigo at pitcher, getting another one, hitting .324. Padgett, of course. Jimmy Fox at first base. I do want to mention Gehrig did retire. We retired his number as well. But Gehrig is no longer playing, so he did leave, as expected. Gehringer winning another one. Eric McNair, Selkirk, McCoskey, Charlie Keller. So this is unique in that Dihigo's our only one. Best rookie goes to Lou Bedreau. 74 RBI. Charlie Keller gets it in the NL. Whew, what a season for him. Cy Young goes to Hilton Smith for the Red Sox unanimously. Whit Wyatt wins for the Giants in the NL. Joe DiMaggio gets another MVP unanimously, but Ted Williams is showing up there in second. And Don Padgett, well-earned, well-deserved with his .417 average, taking the MVP. Josh Gibson there had 30 home runs again. He's mounting a decent career so far. He's got 9 seasons under his belt. He is quickly rising up. We'll see how long he plays to see if he's going to have a Hall of Fame career and what he'll do. The home run numbers have been down. We're going to start the next episode off taking a look at the career leaders and season records to see if anything's been done in the 1930s, and then jump into the 1940s. Again, might try to institute some interleague play ahead of time, tossing it around. Let me know what you think, if that'd be worthwhile. And I thank you for joining me, and we'll see you on the next episode as we get into the 1940s.